Hi, and welcome to Algebra Examples. I'm Dr. Finch. Today we're going to look at an example where we are solving an equation with rational exponents. So we are looking at this equation. 2 times x to the 1/2 minus x to the 1/4 is equal to 0. Now, there is one piece of information that we are going to use throughout this that's going to be super helpful. So we are going to recall that when we have exponents, x to the a, x to the b is the same as x to the a plus b. So this is going to be super useful as we venture through this problem. Now, starting off, what we're going to do is we take our problem here to the 1/2 minus x to the 1/4 is equal to 0. And we are going to use exponents to help us solve it. We're going to use this recall thing that we put in there. And I do want to put a little bit of a side note. This thing here, I've seen this a lot of students try to solve exponent problems like this. And it's very tempting to add x to the 4th on both sides and then to divide out by x to the 1/4, right, to get rid of that. And this is something we do not do. The reason why we avoid this is that we lose information. In particular, what happens is you are going to lose a solution to your problem by dividing out. So we want to avoid that whenever possible. What we're going to do instead of dividing out, so instead we are going to factor out. And factoring is always a better resolution to these things. So we're going to start off by noticing that we have an x to the 4th. So we want to take our x to the 1/2 and break it up. We know that 1/4 plus 1/4 is 1/2, so that we can pull out 1/4 in our first term there. Yank it out of the entire problem. So we have 2 times x to the 4th. We have one copy of that surviving. Minus 1 is equal to 0. You'll notice that we can always double check, did we do this right? If we push this back in, x to the 1/4 times the -1 is negative x to the 1/4, so we're good there. Same for the first term, we're good there. Now that we have things factored, we know a times b is equal to 0 tells us a is equal to 0 or b is equal to 0. So here's another piece of information that we're going to be using. So we have two possible solutions here because we have two parts multiplied by each other. We get x to the 1/4 is equal to 0. And if we take both sides to the 4th power, we get x is equal to 0. So there is one of our two solutions that we're going to find here. Our second solution, 2x to the 1/4 minus 1 is equal to 0. We add 1 to both sides. Now we can divide out by 2. So we get to the 1/4 or 1/2. And let's actually take both sides to the 4th power now. 1/2 to the 4th power. On the left-hand side, they are going to cancel. On the right-hand side, we can distribute that 4th power. 1 to the 4th is 1. 2 to the 4th, we can just do our multiplication. 2 times 2 is 4, times another 2 is 8, times another 2 is 16. So our second solution is 1 to the 16th. So now we have two solutions to our problem. We haven't lost any information. And there we are. Thank you for listening.